to New York City and Bryan Llenas on that terror bus and what could have been. Bryan.
Good morning, Neil. Look, a reminder of just how real these threats are every single day. The Department of Justice releasing new details about a terror plot last summer thwarted by an undercover FBI agent who was posing as an ISIS sympathizer. 3 men, ISIS sympathizers, living outside of the United States, including a U.S. citizen, were arrested last year for planning ISIS-inspired types of attacks here in New York City in 2016. The attacks included plans to detonate a bomb in Times Square, shooting people in the New York City subway system, and at concerts in last year. Now, the 3 men allegedly used internet chat apps to communicate with one another about launching these attacks here in the city that would, quote, create the next 9/11. Plans included detonating a car bomb in Times Square. One of the men messaging, quote, "We seriously need a car bomb at Times Square. Look at these crowds of people." The plan also included gunning down subway riders, including women and children, before detonating suicide vests. They called the subways a, quote, perfect target. The men marked maps with locations where they'd place the bombs, messaging, quote, "When we run out of bullets, we let the vests go off. New York needs to fall. It's a must." The men also planned on shooting concert goers in the city. One of them messaging, quote, "We just walk in with guns in our hands. That's how the Paris guys did it." Now, one of the men, a 19-year-old Canadian, was arrested last year when he landed in New Jersey in preparation of trying to launch this attack. He had bought bomb-making materials and also had rented a cabin nearby New York City where he would make these bombs. 2 other men, a U.S. citizen from Pakistan and another national from the Philippines, will be extradited to the U.S. to face charges. That man from Canada, by the way, has already pleaded guilty. Back here in Times Square, all the attention is on the security. We've seen a heightened sense of alert from counterterrorism units that have been in the city, and now there is new focus actually on buildings, in places that high-rise buildings, in places where there are large crowds of people, like here in Times Square after the Vegas shooting. New sense of concern about really all these hotels that line these populated areas. The NYPD says they've trained 57,000 private sector workers in hotels and high-rise buildings to look for signs that could be anything suspicious, as well as to react to active shooter situations. Neil.
All right, Bryan, thank you very, very much. Bryan Llenas in Times Square, just around the block here.